We've been gone a long time. We back now.
What's up, guys? Today we're talking about Sinners, a vampire, thriller, heist, musical, western, southern gothic from director Ryan Coogler. Starring Michael B. Jordan, Hailee Steinfeld, Miles Caton in his first starring role, Wunmi Mosaku, Jack O'Connell, Omar Miller, and Delroy Lindo. Sinners tells the tale of Smoke and Stack, two twin brother World War I veterans who return to their home in the Mississippi Delta to start a for us, by us juke joint for their local friends and community. But as the sun sets, what ensues is a fight to the death with the devil himself that makes even blues prodigy Preacher Boy wrestle with love, faith, and what it means to be family. Before we go any further, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a spoiler warning. So now is your chance to pause this video, go watch Sinners in friggin' IMAX and on the loudest mother speakers you can, then come back and let me tell you how to feel about it. Now enough of this jabbering. Let's get into the musical masterpiece that is Ryan Coogler's Sinners. Having watched a swath of vampire flicks earlier this year, like Abel Ferrara's The Addiction, the original Nosferatu, Only Lovers Left Alive, and the 1931 Dracula, blood-sucking is quickly becoming my film fetish. So when it was announced that Ryan Coogler was releasing a sly little period piece that happened to involve vampires, I knew it was going to be something special, even if I didn't know exactly what it would be. And man, oh man, was I surprised in all the best ways. A horror film is the framing device for the horrific history of America, but so much more than that. Sinners opens with a mythical scene setting the stage perfectly. In fact, there's kind of two intros here. Essentially, there are folks who can commune with spirits past and future through the power of music. Then we meet Preacher Boy, or Sammy, arriving bathed in blood to his preacher father's church, and that's artist Saul Williams playing his father, by the way, with a broken guitar. He's shaken, beaten, and scarred. Something awful has happened. Flashback to 24 hours later. An all-in-a-day movie is bold, and Coogler manages to pack so much in that 24-hour sequence. The movie is stuffed with interesting characters, and while Preacher Boy is framed to be the main, twins Smoke and Stack are really who we're rooting for. Michael B. Jordan packs both twins with nuance and charm. That Michael B. is able to play both twins so well and so differently is a testament to his acting prowess and his star power in general. Genuinely, I forgot at times it was one actor playing both roles. This will be a defining movie for his career from here onward. After establishing that the twins bought an old sawmill from a definitely probably KKK member, important foreshadowing here, the movie turns into a bring the band together type jaunt, where we meet Chinese grocers Grace and Bo. Yes, I too had to Google the history of Chinese immigrants in the Mississippi Delta. Stack goes with Sammy to recruit Delta Slim, played by Delroy Lindo, with such charismatic might and hilarity that I will be staggered if he isn't nominated for supporting actor. He steals every scene he's in, and he is the arbiter and tone setter for one of the movie's best and instantly iconic scenes inside the juke joint. That sense of building momentum and fun, anti-tension, as the real tension is soon to arrive, banter between characters, it all establishes a living and breathing world within Coogler's version of Clarksdale, Mississippi in 1932. All feels historically accurate and realistic, but there is a sense of whimsy and fun found in a world that is very much seeing the direct aftermaths of slavery and the already ongoing Jim Crow era oppression. The time we arrive at the juke joint, we feel like we know the Smokestack twins, just as much as we feel acquainted with Mary, Hailee Steinfeld, Preacher Boy, Delta Slim, Annie, Wunmi Mosaku, and even Grace and Bo. Delta Slim's speech as they drive through the cotton fields is just as important as watching Smoke teach a young woman the art of haggling and knowing your worth, or Stack teaching Sammy about how to find the button. Each actor imbues such life and humanity into the beautiful words from Ryan Coogler's script. This feels akin to the amount of research and detail Eggers put into Nosferatu, making Sinners and Nosferatu a potentially alluring double feature in the near future. One of my favorite moments of the movie's first act is the scene with Smoke and Annie. Smoke arrives at Annie's home where some trinkets and occultish or religious personal icons are left outside. Clearly someone important to both Smoke and Annie has passed, which we find out was their daughter. Then they share in each other's spirit and experience, Smoke revealing the mojo necklace Annie gifted him to keep him safe before the war. He was protected, destined to return to her, which is poetic and beautiful. Then the subsequent lovemaking session is so bold and gut-wrenching and, well, hot that it helps to establish some important overtones for the movie. It's gonna get sexy in here. It's worth mentioning as well that in a movie full of great performances, Mosaku is putting in a tour de force performance with just facial expression and physicality. She's breathtaking, staggeringly powerful, and iconic in the role. I want to know more about her hoodoo practices and what she did while Smoke was away at war. She needed more screen time, and that's the case for a lot of the characters, but that open-ended weirdness is to the movie's benefit. From here, the movie begins to take a different rhythm as all the elements have arrived and been concocted into Club Juke, ripped right off the iconic album art of Marvin Gaye's 1976 classic I Want You. Delta Slim introduces Preacher Boy, and what becomes the movie's grand thesis statement begins. In a sweeping oral hallucination that rips asunder time and space, Miles Caton's voice carries us through the generations of music that spawned from his blues. I watched the scene mouth agape, pummeled and flabbergasted at what a big dick swinging move Coogler pulled off here. Easily the movie's most memorable and iconic scene, it's also crucial to the movie's message on assimilation, culture vultures, and the fulcrum for Remick and his vampires to steal Sammy's soul in order to grow their vampire coven. More importantly, it establishes the musical magic that black musicians created and how black bodies and experience are appropriated by whites. It becomes a full-fledged action horror thriller from here, and I appreciated that the movie respected the audience enough for us to piece together the long-standing lore of vampires. Being invited in, offering a trade, mint gold pieces, Coogler is paying homage while creating something unique. His vampire designs are immaculate, simplistic, yet very, very effective. The floating, the eerie red eyes, the fucking drooling over Mary's supple flesh, and even the seductive power of their banjo pick and country twang. It all felt like the hallucinatory power of a vampire put into an Irish immigrant longing to get his family back. And given the history of the Irish and their oppression in the United States, another succulent narrative layer added. So often we see the narrative of white people stealing the culture and talent of black people only for it to not translate. The essence and immaterial talent of an individual person and the weight they carry cannot be transported and translated within or by another vessel. And while Preacher Boy can summon that soul and conjure magical auras and cathartic joy with his musical prowess, Remick will never be able to understand and harness that. Preacher Boy is one of a kind. The character introduction of Remick is one of the movie's crowning achievements as he literally drops into the frame like a bomb going off, a meteor falling to Earth. For Coogler to introduce him like that, it's one of the best character introductions in a movie ever. You get everything you need to know about him within the span of a few frames and minutes, most of which he isn't even on screen or is obfuscated by blood and darkness. Oh man, when he leads the Irish jig scene later after they've turned most of the juke joint patrons, it's menacing and so fun. You can just tell he is salivating to be able to conjure a pinch of the magic at Sammy's fingertips. This wouldn't be a fair review without mentioning the music, which, as I mentioned with the middle sequence generational spirit conjuring scene, blah blah blah, is integral to the story Coogler is telling. No notes. Ludwig Göransson burns the roof off with this one, and clearly he was able to let loose. The movie works because his score does, and the movie's quivering power comes from the strings, horns, bass, and vocals he arranges. It's amazing work. Most cathartic scene is simply Stack grinning ear to ear in awe of Sam's raw talent, and knowing how much money it's going to make him. Ludwig G's score backs up the propulsive power of the moment. The visual style and cinematography of this movie is equally important, and cinematographer Autumn Durald Arkapaw shot the hell out of this thing. The lighting and the way the darkness hides the leering vampiric eyes and the way the light spills through the trees outside Annie's abode. The long drives through the cotton fields are hypnotic, spellbinding. There are many small details that are captured, such as the turkey vultures above the sawmill at the beginning and the three that land on the Klansman's house where Remick is allowed in. In short, the movie looks incredible, never a wasted frame, full of color, life, sunlight, and beautiful celebration of community. Awards worthy, no question. Also, I know this isn't necessarily cinematography, but this movie has some great use of cross-dissolve too. A few more stray thoughts before I wrap up, but I want to discuss the movie's title. Sure, we love all these characters, but their backgrounds and motives are based in sin. What does sin or sinning mean to the audience that is coming into things with a Christian background or history? As someone who identifies as agnostic or atheist most of the time, sinning is usually all of the fun things: adultery, stealing, making money in unsavory ways. But it's also the stuff of great movies, of great American stories. Sam's talent leads him to sleeping with Pearline, who is married. Stack has clearly been a pimp in the past, and Smoke isn't afraid to let loose a bullet to make sure no one stands in his way, even resorting to penny pinching. In short, imperfect characters and imperfection are more interesting than prim and proper. Sinning is what makes people human. I've been pondering one scene a lot. I actually went to see this a second time in the middle of writing this script. The hidden truck in the foliage that Smoke and Stack take Preacher Boy to uncover. We never quite see what it holds, but we're left to wonder what is being harbored. Most likely a shit ton of beer and liquor, among other potentially illicit items. A snake lies in wait, which Smoke and Stack collaborate to kill, and it's one of their last moments sharing an embrace while the sun is out. Given the movie's religious bent, I wonder if killing the snake is about vanquishing their desires and lust, but I think now it's more about an embrace of life, a vanquishing of danger, a removal of something that would allow them to feel free. It's an omen for what's to come in a movie full of effective foreshadowing. Near the end of the film, after Remick and his coven have been vanquished, Smoke opens his weapons trunk that was inaccessible the night prior. His reveal to Sammy that Stack's lie about his guitar once belonging to Charlie Patton adds an important mythic quality, but Smoke quickly dispels that rumor. It's actually their father's. What's important here is the idea of not believing everything you hear. Like whether or not we choose to believe that legendary musician Robert Johnson did arrive to Clarksdale in the early 1930s to make a deal with the devil at the crossroads. Choosing to believe adds power. What makes this idea so succulent and perfect is the time that Coogler released it into the world. Sam's guitar has gravitas because it's his now. It doesn't matter who owned it. Ownership and how that works is interesting to think about subtextually, making deals, crafting deals with or on humans and human life. In a time where we are frequently having history and the present narrative manipulated and rewritten in front of us, it's important we think about Preacher Boy singing, "They say the truth hurts, so I lied to you." An important line for the movie as a whole, and with so many ideas and themes to be interpreted, the one that stuck out the most to me after the credits rolled. Sinners, in short, is a fantastic film, easily one of the best movies of the last 20 years, if not of all time. It is heavily influenced and informed by the movies and texts that came before it, paying homage to directors like John Carpenter, Spike Lee, and Francis Ford Coppola. It is multi-layered and dense, ripe for theorizing and dissecting, while also on the surface just being a badass, balls-to-the-wall cinematic banger. It's beautiful, haunting, euphoric, epic, very, very funny, and plucks at many emotional strings. Ryan Coogler's sense of symmetry, along with the movie's immaculate cinematography, is masterful. Everything is cohesive and has an answer in a movie that so quickly could have gone off the rails. There's still so much I want to talk about: the Irish heritage of Remick, the Choctaw vampire hunters, how much I kept thinking about author Ishmael Reed's book Mumbo Jumbo while watching this, Stack and Mary's adventures, and just the magic of the art and the influence that Black people created. Sinners is a once-in-a-lifetime movie. Go support it now. What did you think of Sinners? Were you left salivating for more, or were your oversized dentures left broken and bored? Leave all the comments below, and before you go, don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching this video and continuing to support the channel. Until next time, can someone come spit in my mouth? Come on, I know you want to do it. All right. Peace. Yeah?
Aren't you gonna let a nice girl in?
Yeah, come in.
I heard you want someone to spit in your mouth.
It's gonna follow you home. We got us a problem now. What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party.